Welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored with me, Rosanna Lockwood, in the chair for Piers again tonight. The magic of the movies. Nothing quite like them in terms of escapism, but what if a movie isn't so much of an escape as a giant air raid siren? Now, I'm not talking about Barbie. Piers covered that comprehensively last week, of course. I'm talking about Oppenheimer, the summer's other big blockbuster about the development of the first nuclear weapons. And look, it's a great film, great acting, great soundtrack, yada, 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 but it's not an escape, I don't think, because it's real. I came out of the cinema on Sunday after watching it to news that Russian officials are once again threatening to use a nuclear weapon if Ukraine's counteroffensive succeeds. And that is just the latest in a series of similar threats they've been making. And have you been aware of that? Is that a story you've seen discussed much in the news? As much as, say, arguments about language and gender and ideology, or the latest celebrity presenter scandal? What if I told you that just last month, Putin said Russia has moved their first batch of nuclear weapons to Belarus and is saying the rest will be transferred, quote, by the end of the summer or the end of the year, a man with a plan? Would you then be still so focused on the latest woke corporate advertising stunt? This is actually an information warfare tactic that is favoured by the Kremlin, provoking hysteria and culture war debate in other countries to sow division and confusion. You could actually call it a weapon of mass distraction. And I'm not saying the Kremlin's been behind the latest Costa Coffee ad or the latest Bud Light commercial. No, I think we're doing that ourselves. I'm also not saying that issues of ideology shouldn't be carefully debated in our societies. But I am saying that we need to get some perspective and spot when our eye is dangerously off the ball. There is an estimated 12,500 nuclear warheads in the world. Russia's got almost half of those, and they're telling us they might actually use some of them, but we're not really listening. Maybe if we were Japanese, we would be, because they take the issue of nuclear war far more seriously because they know it. A reminder that in 1945, that's just 77 years ago, the US detonated 2 atomic bombs over 2 Japanese cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing, it's estimated, anywhere up to 250,000 people. It was the first and so far only wartime use of nuclear weapons in history. So it is no wonder the Japanese reception of the American-made Oppenheimer movie has been so sensitive. The movie is a terrifying summary of what happens when we leave the power of godlike destruction in the hands of politicians. Well, joining me to discuss all